Hello, hello. Welcome to HearthCenter, everybody. Glad to be with you on this Wednesday night in week 4 of our main THL series. As always, I am joined this evening by Lotus Knight and Icon. Lotus, how are you?
I'm doing great, Dande. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. Tired but good. Icon, always a pleasure. How you doing, bud?
Good to be here, bro.
Glad to have you. And as you guys can see, we have a guest this evening. A2Battleship is here with us tonight. A2, glad to have you. First time on HearthCenter. And
Glad to be here.
yeah. Like I said, glad to have you. And we will have your teammate from Duos, obviously here. He's not quite here yet, but he's going to be fashionably late. So we'll check in with him when he arrives. So for those of you out there who have not, been with us, welcome to Hearth Center. We will be talking about Pro Week 3. That was last week. We'll be talking about Pro Week 4 as well as some of our matches of the week. That'll be later. We're going to go back over the Duos tourney that happened in the off season ish, kind of happened and bled into the beginning of this season, as that was an exciting new off season event. And then we will be coming back with a second round of Guess the THL Player this evening. As I lost last week, Icon will be going up against Avi and A2 tonight to see who knows THL the best. Chat, you're welcome to play along as well, and we will remind you, if you're playing, please do not post your answer in chat in real time, because that will ruin the game. So you can keep track and keep track separately and send your answers to Lotus. Lotus will give you the primer here as we get into that segment. But what do you say we start by talking about Pro Week 3? Let's go ahead and bring up the matches from last week on screen here so everybody can see what happened. So let's start right at the top. The Beard Boys with a 20-4 win over the Top Hatted Titans. That was a pretty big win. I think they were largely favored going into it, but 20-4 was not what I had in mind, especially after the strong start to the season that the Top Hatted Titans had. You'll notice a sweep of all games. Well, not all games a sweep, but they swept all 5 series, with Honest Zabe being the only actual sweep over Icer. Myanodon, Lesimos, Hockey Boys, and Boozosaurus all with 3-1 wins over Starlax, Silver T Fox, Lil Hearthy, and Top Hat Demon, respectively. Icon, I'll start with you here. What did you think about this matchup? Was this something you expected? This amount of a lopsided victory?
Completely. Yes, I think that the Beard Boys are one of the two best teams in Pro, and that they got a very deserved win over a team that probably was definitely a reasonable team, but not near their level. And I think that the numbers show that. I'm glad that they're having a great season so.
Lotus, how about you? What's your opinion here on I guess the Beard Boys, but also Top Hatted Titans, and where do we go from here in the pro season with these two teams?
So it's not a surprise that all of the Beard Boys won. They're a great team. They have really strong players. So yeah, I think they have a very strong team. They're basically at this point, it's going to be hard to remove them from the playoffs. So I would expect them to go that route. I think Top Hat Titans still has a chance, but Pro is stacked right now, so it's going to be hard.
Very true, very stacked, and it's going to be the further we get in the season, the tougher it will be to get out of that hole that you're in. Beard Boy's not in any sort of hole. They're in first place right now with 65 points, averaging over 20 points a week, which is just absolutely impressive. Now, A2, I know you are a newcomer to THL, but you've been very entrenched in pro this season. Has your team? I don't think you guys have played either of these teams yet. Is that right?
I believe the three teams we played are Aeon, and of course the people who played this week, which was Pro Pain Gang. I think we played one team that was 3-0. I think that was FTL though. We have not played Beer Boards or Top Hat Titans now.
Gotcha. Okay. So, what do you've been watching either of these teams? Obviously you got weeks coming up where you're going to play them. What are your thoughts on these two teams, at least in the first 3 weeks of the season here?
So I would say that looking at Beard Boys, there are a lot of names there that I know and that I respect a lot, especially in THL. For example, Honest Zabe, I've seen him a lot. He's done really well at Masters Tours and has qualified for a lot of them. Hockey Boys is someone who's always done really well in TESPA, has made it to a few um, Masters Tours of his own, and he's famous for bringing a all Mechathune lineup to one of them.
Oh, we know that
And
well.
and
yeah.
Booza, Myanodon, I believe they were both in the duo tournament, and they did somewhat well. Lesmos, I have not had the chance to really look into, but looking at his record right now, 3-0 is very good, to say the least.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, looking at just the people individually, I would say that they were probably in the top 20% of skill level in the tournament. So I would not be surprised that these people are winning all of their matches, but winning it by so much. Top Hat Titans, they do have some THL experience from what I've seen, but they haven't really had anything super stand out. I've heard Top Hat Demon is a long time, I believe. He's Silver T Fox and Top Hat Demon have definitely been here before. But I haven't seen much to say that they're like, big titans that really need to be taken down. They're just regulars. So I wouldn't say that Top Hat Titans are really going to be exploding through the ranks, but Beer Boys definitely look strong and are definitely going to be playoff contenders.
No doubt about that. And I think, as you mentioned, Top Hat has been around for quite some time. He took a few seasons off from THL and came back last season and was actually an All-Star, or an All-Pro, I should say, in the Pro Series. So I wasn't quite expecting an 0-3 start out of him. I guess different metas treat you differently. Isert 2-1 isn't surprising, though. He is a name that most people will at least be somewhat familiar with. I've definitely seen him around in other tournaments, too. So he's off to at least a strong start, but he's going to need some support on that team if they're going to hope to make a push here. Speaking of another
Exactly.
team that is looking to make a push, FTL got a close win over Aeon 13-11 last week. So this was a hard-fought game as FTL does move to 3-0 and Aeon drops to 1-2 with the tough opening schedule. As you can see here, Ridiculous Hat got a big sweep over Snake, and that was the highlight of the week for Aeon because Itachi swept 2-star Mako back, and then Rabobson and Liquid Ox get wins over Coles and yours truly, with Markshire getting a big win on stream over Berserk, 3-1. So this was a lot closer. I think we talked about this being pretty close. These are two pretty competitive teams here. Icon, congratulations on your team getting the win over us, of course. Glad to take a bunch of points off of you guys, but anything here that any results that kind of surprised you a little bit? I think Markshire over Berserk might have been the big one.
Snake, our hat sweeping Snake was a surprise to me. Sweeps are a little bit harder in Conquest. I know that definitely had a lot going on, but definitely in a format where you can't just win with one deck, you have to win with 3 separate decks. I think that it's actually pretty impressive to sweep somebody. I don't actually know if Markshire beating BZ was actually as much of a surprise as I thought it would be, not because BZ is any less insane of a player. He actually finished playing his match today, or this week, so that he can go play at Arlington. But Markshire has had a fantastic lineup into BZ, and so I actually think that he was pretty set up for success going into that match and performed accordingly. So.
And on that front, I will mention that Markshire he's out here doing quite a bit of prep. He's been taking this very seriously, and he's one of the more consistent presences in our Discord, making sure that everyone knows kind of where his thought process is at. So shout out to him and getting the job done and really reaping the rewards of that prep. A2, I'll ask you next here. What do you think of these two teams here in this match specifically, and going forward here the rest of the season?
Aeon was our first week opponent, and from what I've seen, these are people who are definitely familiar with the format and familiar with Hearthstone. I mean, most of them are people who are directly built into THL, so it's hard for them not to be good at Hearthstone at this point. However, the lineup of FTL has had a very storied history from what I've seen, so I'm not surprised that FTL has been doing so well. Aeon's 1-2 start's a little bit rough, but its point differential has not been too bad in reference to other teams. So I think FTL, like Beard Boys, is very good for going into playoffs. But Aeon's a little bit more shaky, but they're not out of it, I would say. And I think it was a little bit better than expected that Aeon did so well. I didn't expect them to win this week, but I was expecting them to lose by a bigger margin. So I think that Aeon really played their heart out this week, even though it was a loss. I think they shouldn't be discouraged. in the slightest.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough match, and there's no easy week in pro. There's no easy week at all. But we tried to get as many points out of it as we could, and at this point, 50 points is the cutoff right now for the final playoff spot. Several weeks from now, and we're only 9 points behind. So that's really this is recoverable within a week or two. Should we continue to at least put out decent showings like this, hopefully we can put together a win or two going forward. Would be nice. Lotus, before we move on to the next game, any thoughts on this one?
I think these are both strong teams. I expect FTL to make the playoffs. I think Aeon has a good chance. So yeah, good job for both of you. And I'm looking forward to see what happens.
For sure. Well, let's
But
move.
before we go, I will
move on.
say one thing about the there's been some debate in terms of both of the 3-0 teams, that being Beard Boys and FTL, over who's the best team in pro. I'd actually like to definitively present an argument for that right now. So looking at the team's strength of schedule, I think, is really important when we're considering how dominant a team has been across the first 3 weeks and going into the 4th week. Specifically, if we look at Beard Boys' schedule right now, they have played let's see. Tap Blast, a team who is currently 1-2 and struggling. Propane Gang, a team hailed as possibly like one of the bottom teams within Pro Series, and Top Hatted Titans, another 1-2 team and kind of a question mark. I think that Aeon, while by no means the absolute best team in Pro, is certainly a middle of the pack contender for playoffs. And Bad to the Bone, in my opinion, is one of the top 4 teams in Pro, and I think a lot of the community's votes have expressed that as well. So in terms of opponents faced, I actually think that Beard Boys' run is only going to get more difficult, whereas FTL's is going to get easier because we still have to play people like your PPGs, your other guys, your top-hatted Titans, things like that. And so I wouldn't be surprised if FTL quickly overtook that sort of number 1 slot, because my competitive drive doesn't like us sitting at number.
Understandable. That's obviously very very reasonable argument, and points aren't the only thing that matters in terms of ranking. The good thing will be it's a balanced schedule. Everyone's going to end up playing every team. So while strength of schedule can matter now, at the end of the season everybody will have an identical strength of schedule. I think one thing that might play into the Beard Boys' favor is that they are kind of getting a little bit of momentum going on right now. Everybody's doing real well. They, as you said, maybe they haven't had to play some of the tougher competition by the points at this stage of the season, which is kind of allowing them to get their feet wet into the meta, so that by the time they do get to those stronger teams, they have a great grasp on what they need to do. Have lots of tape out there, so to speak, to prep. So I can definitely see the Beard Boys hanging on. I don't think by any means that they're going to fall out of the top 4. I think that they're
Absolutely not.
team.
Oh, no. By no means.
No,
I think that
I'm
they're
not
going
saying
to
you
finish.
said that either.
Oh, they're going to finish second to us, and that will be they should be very happy with that. So,
Bulletin
Booze, I'll
board
see you in week 10,
material.
buddy.
Bulletin
Yeah,
board
go for
material. It. Put that.
I'll see you in week 10, Booze. Yep, let's get it.
I'm sure he will be bringing that one up the rest of the season. But let's move on to Game 3, which was Taste the Rainbow versus the other guys. A very close match, and Taste the Rainbow stays undefeated as the 3rd and final undefeated pro team. 13-12, just squeak by. Tony Montana did his best effort to carry the other guys, as he's now 3-0. He got a sweep over Inzi. And your Mumked moves to 3-0 for Taste the Rainbow with a 3-2 win over Dirty Mike. Skittles with a sweep over JR. Brick gets a 3-2 win over Surlos, who's struggling a bit to open the season. And then Lefty gets his first win against Quirky Turtle in a 3-1 win. So this one, I guess I'm a little surprised. I thought Taste the Rainbow might have had a little bit of a bigger gap here, but I did see this being a win for Taste the Rainbow. Lotus, any thoughts here? Do you think that this is about accurate to what you would have predicted for this matchup?
So if we were to take BR into full account, the other guys would have won. But I think Taste the Rainbow is doing a lot of prep. They're super motivated, and that has been paying off. They've been beating some nice teams, and they've been climbing really well. So I think they're a good team. I think I expect them to just keep growing.
Yeah, right now tied for third with the unknown, who we'll talk about in a little bit. They are definitely doing work in the prep department. We know that Skittles is going to have them moving in the right direction. I think the big thing will be if they can get Quirky Turtle going and get some W's, because right now they have 6 losses and Quirky's got 3 of them. So hopefully, if they can balance out the back end of that roster a little bit, they can be a big contender going forward. A2, what do you think about this match here?
So I would say these two teams are probably the two teams that I'm got the least information on. I really haven't had the time to really get to know anyone on any of these teams. I have I've played Brick, I've played Skittles, and I've played and I've seen Quirky Turtle play. And I would say the first two are pretty good players, and Quirky Turtle is okay. Other than that, I really have really little context into how these teams have been playing, other than the stats that we have up here. And I think that Taste the Rainbow, their stats are a little bit inflated for now, and that they're going to drop behind Unknown and Badge of the Bone in future weeks. But the other guys, I really don't know what they're going to do, and hopefully they get back on pace, because they really need to up their ante if they're going to make playoffs.
Icon, what do you think about these two teams here?
I'm actually very happy for Taste the Rainbow's success because I think Skittles is one of the smartest captains we've seen in recent history in TH. He also happens to have a really cool name. And in terms of specific members on that team, Brick has had a very rough introduction to THL. Most matches that I've seen him play before that, he got kind of wrecked, and he seems to be finding his feet really well here. So I'm really glad that he's found a format that he likes and he can perform well in, hopefully. So a high performing Brick is something that's going to be great for your team. I think that Skittles has a really great prep system going on. I really know nothing about the other players on that team, but they definitely seem to have a like a sort of a system going on that works for them, and I hope that they keep using that to their fullest advantage. It seems like a pretty cool thing they've got going on there for sure.
Definitely. Let's talk about game number 4, which is another close game. The Unknown, one of the preseason, not entirely the most favorite team, but up there, playoff favorite, versus the Menagerie, who is kind of sputtered a little bit to a slow start here. They lost 14-12. So Desharma with a win at the top, he moves to 3-0 with a 3-2 win over Based Inc. Ron Mexico falls to 9 eyebrows. That was a 1-3 game. Brushy Tuna gets a W. Hey, he joined the chat. You can hear, apparently so I would stop crying, but just in time to hear me talk about him getting a W over Mata 3-1, and then Dexter with a win 3-1 over Catman, and Tris fell to 0-3 with a loss to Solo Jazz 3-1. So no sweeps here in either direction. A very close match all around. I guess my immediate takeaway here is I look at the Menagerie, and Tris sitting at the bottom of that lineup doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but Dexter's doing real well, and he's a 5 seed in Legacy, and Catman is a 450, 475 plus PR player, and he just came out and whooped on him. So an impressive start for Dexter. Icon, what do you think about these two teams here in this matchup?
So overall, I think that the Unknown is definitely a very solid. I think that their performance right now is kind of a question mark, as they have yet to play against your Beard Boys of the world and your FTLs. But I think that they definitely got a solid win here. Desharmo at 3-0 is really sick. He's an awesome player, and he is definitely showing that right now. I really like this roster from the Unknown. Tris at 0-3 is confusing, but I mean, hey, if you show me a reality in which Desharmo's 3-0 and Tris is 0-3, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? But I think that Menagerie, in my opinion, is actually quite a strong team on paper, and I think if they get their stuff together, they could definitely creep into that 5-6 sort of spot and start challenging the playoff team. So definitely curious to see what if the Unknown drops off a bit and if the Menagerie sort of trends up a little bit in the next weeks.
Yeah, I think Menagerie is in that same kind of spot as Aeon, in my opinion, where tough start, but their team is strong on paper, and I think if like we said, if Triss can get going, I think that this team will start to put the wins together. But right now, 42 points, only 8 points out of playoff contention, so really not anything to be massively concerned about at this stage. Lotus, what are your thoughts here on this matchup?
Um, I don't think there's anything crazy surprising here. The Unknown is a strong team. I think I would have expected them to have won by more, to be honest. But Triss had 0-3 is a bit surprising, yes. I would say there's a good chance that doesn't last for long. I know he has been focusing on a single class a lot, so that might be
Okay.
part of the reason. Focusing on a single class is great for ladder climbing, awful for THL.
Very
Um,
true. It might explain the 1 in the score column for him.
Yeah, I've done that before. Many times actually. I've made a mistake quite a bit where I just practice one deck and then I realize that's not great for THL. But it's something just of note.
Unless it's closed list LHS. Sign up for Hero Series, everybody.
very, very true. Shout out to Brushy, also not only getting a win, but also with the most wholesome comment that we'll probably see tonight. Everyone is a golden legendary in his book. That is that's an awe moment right there. A2, do you have any opinions on this matchup here?
I would like to say that not everyone is a golden legendary. I'm joking.
True. None of you are golden legendaries. Prove yourself to me. I agree with A2.
Unfortunate.
Thank you.
Dance for me. No. I would say that. I would say that Unknown has the team name has had some history of being on the better side for in the history of Pro Series. The Menagerie, I believe, is one of the teams that were just made recently, but most of these are actual veteran players, so I would expect them to be very similar in terms of power level, with maybe Unknown having a little bit more cohesiveness and therefore a little bit more consistency. So I'm not surprised by the win and the very similar scores for the win. And it really is close. It's really hard to win by a smaller margin. I mean, it didn't really hurt either team to get these points. Maybe Menagerie falls a little bit behind in standings, but they're definitely both going to be in playoff running. They're just not going to be as obviously in as the Beer Boards or FTL are.
Yeah, it's as you mentioned, Unknown is a team that returned from last season, and the team roster is exactly the same with the exception of Desharmo playing, and he captained it last season, so they're very, very familiar with one another. Diamond is one of the most prolific captains in THL. He captains everything, and usually his teams do pretty darn well. So he'll get the Menagerie going in the right direction, and I mean they're not that they're moving in the wrong direction right now. They're just kind of hanging out in the middle ground, and they'll make their push. So nothing to be worried about there. But I think we're going to start to get into the section of the Pro Series here where some of these teams might start to be worried. Bad to the Bone's not one of them. They won this week over Propane Gang 14-10. Ego Waffle with a 3-1 win at the top over Craig of Canada. Avi, not here yet, by the way. Still got a sweep over the Town Drunk. Pasca did fall to silent red RDT 3-2, and It's Me Mike V with the sweep over Maniskull might have been the surprise of the week there. And Saturday,
what on earth?
Yeah, Satyrus got to win 3-1 over Darkside, which Darkside's streak there continues, unfortunately for him. So A2, your team, of course, you were not there this week, but what did you guys? You had a game plan. You came in. Obviously, you guys got the win, and you're moving up the ranks. You're 2-1 now. So take us through this a little bit here.
So I remember Pasca always likes playing his games really early on the week, usually Wednesday or Thursday. And going through, Pasca got a 3-2 loss. He said that it was really kind of heartbreaking for him because he was up 2-0 and then he made some misplays in the, I believe, Warlock versus Warlock, and it led to him losing, and then the rest of the decks were kind of unfavored for him, and he just got reverse swept. Skull played a little bit after that, and he was even more distraught by that. He felt like he played well, and that the mistakes he made were minor, but he just didn't get any good cards in hand, and it was just one of those weeks where you just nothing goes right, and he's really bent up about that. Thankfully, our team captain is very good at comforting people. Ego Waffle is just an amazing player. He's a veteran in the M Masters Tour circuit, and he's a
Circus is true too. honestly, from some of the qualifiers.
I think he's on a professional team as well. Attack mode. He's an amazing player, so I'm not surprised he won in a 3-1 astounding fashion. And then my substitute Saturos. Thankfully, we had Saturos on his team, on our sub list, because he 3-1 for me, something I probably wouldn't have done. And so up until that point, we were 10-10, and I was like, all is left is Avi playing Town Drunk, and I'm like, I really don't know much about Town Drunk. I know Avi's a good player. Hopefully, he can bring this up. He was 1-1 before this, and he was like, yeah, I swept him. I just played good. And I'm like, just the amount of skill Avi has amazes me sometimes.
Yeah, just playing good is kind of how he's run his whole THL life the last year and a half or so. I will say, I know both these players from the last few seasons of THL, and Avi is definitely we'll say in a higher class than the Town Drunk, and I don't mean that to slight him because I'm sure he'll be the first one to admit the same. Avi is out there, playing tournaments, qualifying for Arlington, of course, and that's not something that the Town Drunk will have on his resume, unfortunately.
And I can tell you as a TESPA veteran, Avi is so good. I've talked before. I was on his team with him. He was on I was on a team with people I had just met, and he was on a team with two people, and I talked to them, and it was pretty obvious. They told me, yeah, I sometimes play every weekend for like 2 or 3 games, and then I have like half of a collection, and that's really it. And Avi would just go to the top 32 of a region with these people, going like 5-2 or better in regular season play, with people who just didn't really play Hearthstone that much and really weren't helpful in team matchups. So he was like, Avi just carries everything that he's in, including Duo series, although he tries to say that I am helpful in some scenario, which
I'm sure you were. I'm
makes
sure you
me
were. It can't be just one player doing everything the entire tournament.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever
I do
watched
something.
Liquid Ox and Shoe, but I mean, it is possible.
I did get Liquid Ox to say that Shu was helpful, so I wouldn't go that far.
All right.
Well, let's move on to the final match of the week, which was Taplast versus Defias Brotherhood. Taplast gets on the board with their first win of the season, 16-9. Defias still searching for their first win, though they did put up some points in this one. Cypher Zero subbed in and got a win over Valdis. CMAC took the win over Comp 3-1. Bill Snyder fell to Epical Noise. That was Epical Noise's first win of the season, a 3-2 win. And then there were a pair of sweeps as Heat Shock took out Economy 16 and Nerdstrom defeated Izanami. Economy and Izanami, those are closer than I ever realized name wise. So Defias
Yeah.
is still continuing to not find solid footing here, and they're at the bottom of the standings. But Taplast puts a nice number on the board, which will move them up a ways into the back end of the contending pack. I would say, Lotus, is that kind of what you would imagine here? Is Taplast kind of still in the hunt in your eyes?
I think they are. They don't have too many chances anymore. I think if they mess up 1 week, they're probably done. Because, as I said, Pro is very stacked right now, so you kind of need to be doing a good job early. I would say they still have a chance, but it is not going to be an easy ride.
Yeah, they're going to need to be on for the next few weeks to keep up pace. Icon, what do you think about this matchup here? Taplast getting the win surprise you in any way?
Not really. I think if you're Taplast, you have to keep this momentum up and then some, because the other teams ahead of you are going to be getting 20-point weeks, and you're going to have to match that or exceed that if you want to
Yes.
have any chance of moving upwards. If you're Defias Brotherhood, you should be extremely worried. You have a total of 2 wins in 3 weeks in all of your matches across 5 players. If we should definitely be considering sort of drastic changes going forward, just to hopefully get some momentum going.
All right. Well, any last second thoughts on here before we move on to our duos tourney recap? I'll take that as a no.
Nah.
No, we've said it all at this point. Nothing more to say. So we were hoping that Avi would have joined us by now. Of course, since the duo's tourney, he was a member of the winning team, and that's kind of what you guys are here for tonight. And congratulations again on that, A2. It was a tough tournament, a lot of good sets in there, a lot of good teams, and you guys came out on top. So, Lotus, you were the proprietor of this tournament. You ran it from day one.
Commissioner.
Yeah, you came up with the whole thing, and it was wildly successful. So I give nothing but kudos to you for that. And I'll let you kind of take it away here as far as your experience with it and what the whole experience kind of meant to you.
Sure. So, Duos has been a ton of fun. I think to me, Duos has been a tournament where I got a chance to play with a player I wanted to play with, and that was really nice. And the second thing is, Duos was a tournament where people just had an opportunity to try something new and to change a bit the thing of playing by yourself that Hearthstone is most famous for something that you're not that used to, which is playing with someone else telling you you shouldn't do this play, you should do that play, and just having that kind of feedback. I personally felt like I was playing 10 times better in this situation. I don't know about you guys if you felt the same.
I mean, I personally did not play in the duos tourney, but I will say when I'm co-oping with someone, I definitely feel like I'm thinking much more critically about my plays, especially since I have someone to bounce ideas off of, and sometimes just talking out loud, I think, is the important thing there. It makes you really think a lot harder about what you're doing rather than just getting forced into an autopilot scenario.
Yeah.
It's
think
so
that's
much more
true.
fun too. Like in general, I don't know. It makes Hearthstone more fun. Like Snake and I streamed like all of our matches, and we would just we would have a dynamic where I would just go, all right, listen, this is gonna be a Pog University play, and then Snake would go, no. Okay, here's what we need to do to win, and then we would end up doing that. But it was a wonderful time. So definitely a good bonding experience for anybody within the duos.
Yeah, I definitely would say that playing with Avi is one of the greatest things that you can do to learn a lot and to play really well. We think very similar in certain ways, but there are definitely small intricacies that make it so that we have slight disagreements, and we're not ill-tempered enough to actually go at each other's throats, which I've seen some teams really be bad at. So definitely, it's hard. The only time where you're bad at duos is that if your team is not when you're bad, but when the team lacks consistency or lacks communication. That's the one time where you don't have fun with duo is you just don't get along or you don't play Hearthstone in the same idea. Just without that patience, it's kind of frustrating. But once you get that through that barrier, it's so much fun. It's very rewarding from both like a skill level perspective and just like progressing yourself. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, it's good. Yeah, it's definitely good to find somebody who works within the same kind of brain space. So as you, it's nice to have somebody who has differing opinions on how to play certain decks and how to play certain matchups. But it's you got to have a compatibility, and I think it showed obviously that you both had that. And that was actually something I wanted to bring up too. Is how did you guys end up meeting? You guys go to college together? Did you meet before college, or did you guys meet once you got together there?
So, I'm not sure what Avi's like specific perspective is on this, but when I came to U of M, I'm I live very far away from U of M. I'm originally from South Carolina, so I had to move a long way to get there. Avi, when I got here, was actually a grade below me. But even as someone who wasn't even at the University of Michigan as a full student, he was dual enrolled at it through his high school because he's a Ann Arbor native, I think. He had this huge kind of not aura, but like everyone was like, "Oh, I hope we're not like Avi is so good at this game. Avi is great, and I'd never heard of this guy, or I've never seen this guy. I'd never talked to him, and I'm like, well, he's probably a jerk. I probably hate him, and I never talked to him. I maybe interacted with him once, but I forgot it because I didn't know who he was and I didn't introduce myself or whatever. Me and my team in TESPA played his team for after the end of Swiss, which at that point you had to get 5-2 or better, and my team went 6-1. I think his team went 5-2, and we played him twice in the double elimination, and he beat us twice. We were 85% against the whole field, but 0% against Avi. And I'm like, what is with this guy? How are we losing so badly against him? And after that, the teammate I was with graduated, and my teammate, me, and Avi joined and made one team because his teammates were losing interest in Hearthstone and were like middling players and didn't really want to get in the way. And like immediately, like we just decimated, and like me and Avi got along really well. Me and my other teammate, his name was Hunter. Yeah, I think Hunter also did a sub for Avi's team once, but in the middle of last TESPA season, Hunter just kind of like stopped replying to us, and we were kind of worried about it. But we just couldn't get in contact with him, so we played the rest of the TESPA matches as a duo, which definitely helped with our chemistry. And at that time, I was piloting for the TESPA matches, which, as you may know, are 3v3. 3 people play at one computer versus 3 other people at one computer. And me and Avi crushed it, and we made top 24 in TESPA. Man, I couldn't be happier with the performance. It was really sad. We were not only one match away, but one game within the match away from getting top 16 and maybe joining Eggo Waffle and Eddie near finals, hypothetically. And it was a they were playing Combo Priest and we were playing I believe a Highlander Hunter or a Highlander. It was a Highlander Paladin. And they were out of cards and they drew off the top Bwansamdi. And that was just so heartbreaking. It was like a 1 in 23 for us to lose. Eliminate us from the tournament. But again, there was nothing we could really do. I mean, me and Avi still fight about like, oh, if we played it this way or if we played it that way, we could have won. And I'm like, dude, I don't think we would have won if we played that way. So we definitely play to each other's strengths and we kind of cover each other's weaknesses, which is definitely the point of playing in a duo. So it's been great knowing Avi as a person. He's very supportive. He's very positive. I tend to get frustrated easily, and I tend to show that frustration easily. So I really couldn't be more thankful to have Avi, who is really good at humbling me because he's very good at Hearthstone, but also just reassuring me and telling me to keep calm.
Yeah, it's good to have that balance, and I obviously I wish Avi was here right now so that he could respond. But
Right.
I'm sure he would. I'm sure he would be happy to accept the praise that you have for him, and I'm sure he would say as well that you are much better of a player than you're giving yourself credit for. And congratulations again on the duos tourney. I'm sure it was nice to get a little bit of it's not the same level of competition as TESPA, I would imagine, but
No.
but to get a little bit of redemption, I guess, and to prove that you guys had the chemistry to make it through an entire field is impressive. So congratulations on that.
Yeah.
And
I would say that I would actually make the argument that the TESPA the THL lineup was a little bit stacked compared to TESPA because TESPA is open.
that's true.
I mean, so is THL, but you look at some people, look at some teams like Ace 103 Jack Attack. That's 2/3 of the New Zealand national team, and they were eliminated 0-2. Papa Jason, who is now a Grandmaster, his team was eliminated very early. Some other, there's a lot of just THL veterans here. For example, Catman, Brick, Blue Spartan, a lot of Boozosaurus and 2-Star Mako. Just a lot of names that I've definitely heard of before and definitely will hear from again, and who have been good. I mean, a lot of my teammates are on here too from Pro. Ego Waffle joined kind of late, but joined Typhoon's team right near the finals where they almost beat us, but thankfully they didn't. Avi has introduced me separately from THL to MTG Kid and Juggler, for example, and it looks like they didn't. Even though I think they're very good players, they barely made it through to losers round 3, where they got 3-0'd by Ego Waffle and Typhoon. So I think that this tournament was low stakes, but there was a lot of powerful teams in here. So it feels really good to come out on top with a top 32 of a lot of top tier teams, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely, and congratulations again. It's hopefully a tournament that we can repeat, if not maybe the exact same format. The same concept with the 2v2 is definitely an interesting concept that I'd like to continue to explore. So, yeah.
I'd love that. I'd love to win again too.
Oh well, you guys got to defend the title, so no
Exactly.
doubt we'll have you back for that when we do decide to reiterate. But for now, we are going to reiterate on our fun segment last week of Guess the THL Player. So Diamond was our winner last week from chat. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it on stream tonight, so we were going to have A2 and Avi play against Icon. So chat, you can also play along, of course. So Lotus, I'll let you explain, and just in case anybody missed last week's segment, what you're going to be seeing here.
So, Guess the THL Player is a fun game where you are all invited to participate. Where I'm going to read a short description that players have sent me about themselves, and our goal is to guess who it is. You can participate through the Google form, which I'm sharing right now on chat. So feel free to participate, say who you think is who, and let's see who gets there. The player who gets there will come at some point, or the winner will come at some point, face the winners of today or the winner of next week live.
Also, oh my god, Donde, I just saw that stream transition. That's like the hottest thing I've ever seen on Twitch.
Big shout out to Saku, right? He's the one who set that up.
Oh, so. They're amazing.
That was so clean. That looked so good, dude. Wow. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I just had to say that.
No,
you
can nice. Heap as much praise as you want to Saku as possible, because I want him to keep doing awesome things.
that looked so cool. I was okay. Cool. Yeah.
You want it again? Because I'll throw it up again.
Do it again, please. Oh man. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's so clean. Right. Sorry. Go ahead, Lotus.
No, totally fine. So here's an opener, just an example. Chat can join A2 and Icon in trying to guess this one. Hopefully one of you can get the right answer. I played in all main THL series in 2019. Legacy, Hero, Pro, Challenger. I have captained each team series. I have won team championship as both a player and a captain, and finished second in Challenger.
That's a hard one. Well, it's easy if you actually, if you have the stats in front of you, I guess.
Well, please don't use the THL website to answer this.
I feel like you would need to do a lot of research
since it's an example.
This is an example, so everyone can work.
Yeah.
Do you know the answer?
This was a good change up from the other one. It is none other than Lotus Knight.
This is not me.
Oh wait, never mind.
I have only captained one team actually.
Oh, okay. Well.
And I didn't play all series. No, I wish.
All right. What is that?
I mean, I know
Okay,
who it
I don't
is.
know.
You
I
know
don't.
it is a thing.
I would guess it would be someone who's well known for just being all around player. So I would. I feel like anyone who is a veteran of THL would just tell me this is so wrong. But I'm gonna guess Ron Mexico.
Okay. Icon, any guesses?
Gosh, it's not. Wait. This okay. So they have 2 championships. Oh boy. Liquidox? I don't know.
God, you're all jerks.
I don't think it's Ox, because Ox would have submitted something like way more memey. Like he's not capable of like grammar and like professionalism.
It was
so
me.
I don't know.
You guys are jerks. It was
Oh,
me.
all right.
Who are you?
I don't remember you having any championships, but that's
I
probably
is
won
what it
Don.
Hero last season. Come on.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that's why I didn't remember it.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was Donde.
All
This
right,
was
for sure.
Ouch.
a tricky opener.
Challenger. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I lost to Chigmo in the Challenger finals thanks to Murloc Paladin. Not the tip the scales Paladin.
Donde.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but no. No, I'm not talking about your decks. I'm talking about that. It's calling because I was thinking of the most recent challenger, bro. That's
Oh
Yeah.
okay.
no! I didn't play in that one. I
No,
played
that would
in
have
Okay.
been basic.
Okay, dude. Yeah, that's literally. I was like, Base Think hasn't won a championship yet. What?
No, he has
I was really
not.
confused.
Well, let's move on to the actual game now that I've been disappointed in everyone.
Yes.
So five
So
guesses this week. So it's start with question 1, of course.
yes. Just a note, you can participate through the form. I'll send it once more in chat. Please feel free to open the Google form if you want to participate. Um, plug your answers in there. The question we had, the example does not count. So there are 5 questions. I'm going to start now, and I will post them in chat right after I read them. Also, I'm not singing today because no one submitted a song. So that's good for everyone, I think.
No.
Are you all ready for the first one?
Yep.
I'm ready.
Okay, so pretty good captain, Hall of Fame member, has a glorious beard, always sitting on his patio drinking alcoholic beverages in his off time, doesn't wear pants.
This is mad easy.
I have a pretty good guess if I
Yeah.
can spell his
For you guys, I'll ask you to write them down in a notepad or something and then message it directly to me. The
I
others,
see.
everyone on Twitch chat, please just go ahead
Don't put your
and
guesses in
put
Twitch
it on the
chat.
form.
Put it in the
Yeah,
form.
don't put it on chat. You can try to get people out of the truth answer. That would technically be fine. As for question number 2, assume everyone's ready.
I'm ready.
Hit
This
it.
CHLer is a recent addition to the fun, but you have most certainly seen him around, most likely in the Discord, but also somewhere else. This newlywed is not the best Hearthstone player by any means, but I wouldn't put them in the bottom either.
He's a 4
Oh
seed who got
no.
married. Oh
Oh
god.
no. I would have to pay attention to other people's lives to know that.
My man, I got you. Oh boy. Oh, never mind. I think I know this one. Piggy punt. Wait, can you say that one more time? Wait, no, never mind. I'll just read the chat.
Number 3.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, never mind. I know who it. Yeah. All right.
Okay, number 3, are you all ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I was born in Israel, but moved to the US at the tender age of 3. Since then, I have traveled to every continent except Antarctica. Hobbies outside of Hearthstone include amateur filmmaking, intramural kickball, and of course, Hearthstone. I am known for my incredible Hearthstone ability, my top-notch shoutcasting, and my... Some say I am the face of THL, and to those people I say thank you, and your check is in the mail. Also, one time I swept Bloody Face, so that's pretty cool. Heart emoji, love, Anon.
Was
Did
he
you
a
have to
4chan
censor that
user?
yourself?
Yeah. Huh. Oh no, I think.
I will give him credit. He was definitely self-aggrandizing in this little blurb, but he is a great Hearthstone player. He is a great caster, and some would probably argue he's the face of THL.
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh
I had a feeling until you said that.
It's funny because
'Cause I
all
feel
the
like
ones that
he's-
I thought from like the first week, they actually are the ones this week. So every con, that's pretty cool. I didn't actually know that. But
I've only been
like, I knew the
to
kickball thing, but
4 of them. I haven't been to South America.
I've only been to one, so if that makes you feel better.
I've actually been to every one too, except for Antarctica.
Yeah, I have been to all of them too. Same thing.
I went to Canada one time. I've been to Alaska.
That's
You New Englanders
Same here.
aren't into
Alaska's
travel,
pretty much
bro.
Antarctica, so cross that one off.
Yeah, and I was there during a bunch of forest fires, so I basically couldn't breathe the whole time. It was awesome.
Cool.
Nice.
And then you can say you've been to Australia as well at this point.
Ooh.
With the fires
Way
and
too
all.
soon.
Too
way
soon. Boo. Boo this man.
So, ready for number 4?
I am ready.
You.
Transition shows
Okay.
already.
I've been 2 times, once with Murloc Shaman and once with Galakron Rogue. But my favorite class to play is Druid. My favorite THL player is Itachi, so I just team up with him in every series and hope that he will one day carry me to a championship.
I would say something nice about Itachi, but I'm contractually obligated to slam him at all opportunities.
I was gonna
True.
say, getting carried by Itachi, I didn't realize I submitted a thing for this.
It is not Icon, I'll say that much.
Oh, this. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. This is. Okay.
Okay. Hopefully this week is not too easy compared to last one.
If this is who I think it is, him having Itachi as his favorite player is actually really funny.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, Lotus.
I'm not confirming though. I would say it's funny just knowing who I know it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay.
This fifth one is my favorite, by the way, and I would have guessed
Yes.
exactly who this was because I know who this is.
Mm-hmm.
So as for number 5, I held the record for longest winning streak in THL for exactly 1 week, and I got banned from Twitter.
Oh
you
no! Oh,
you can't give me
put the same
you can't
person
give me
twice.
that question and then not.
Oh
expect me
no!
to
Now I
this.
know who it is.
Yeah. Dante, you only figured out this recently. We've been telling him that for years now.
I know the reason he got banned from Twitter, which will not be a topic of conversation on this show.
Oh yeah. He's been banned
now
multiple times too. This isn't even the first time.
Yeah, this was just the permanent time.
But he's still
There's,
on Twitter, right?
What's up?
The person you're talking about, I think he's still on Twitter, right? Or I might be thinking of the wrong person.
If he
No,
is, he's on a different account.
He's not allowed. He is.
Oh
he's
no!
fully banned
Oh,
from
then
Twitter.
I'm wrong. I'm very wrong then. Can I tell you what my very wrong answer is? Do you care?
Don't say now. We'll have a results block soon, and then we'll ask for all the answers.
We need to save some drama for that block. So this will be.
All right,
Yes.
I'm just gonna keep my very wrong answer then.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Right. Does anyone need me to repeat any questions? Twitch chat if you need anything. Message now and I'll paste the answer or say it out loud. You'll have a bit longer.
They should all be there for viewing. And next up for us, well, I'll let you guys kind of finish up on the forum there. We are going to talk about our matches of the week, which is going to be all the stream matches that we have in the games surrounding them. However, we do still have a couple slots available, so if anybody would like to get on stream, we have Friday night at 9 p.m. available, and we have Sunday at 8 p.m. available. I know Sunday is the Super Bowl, which a lot of people care about. I do, though the Patriots aren't in it, so that kind of sucks for me.
SP Omega Lol RTS.
Sports, yes, sports ball. So that might be a little bit harder for Sunday. So I can understand if we can't get a second match, but we would love to get a 9 p.m. match for Friday. So if you are interested, let me know in Discord or send an email to the help email, and we will get you scheduled. So let's pull up the games. I said that, and then I clicked the wrong button. Opping is hard sometimes.
We're not playing CS:GO.
Oh god, I sized this completely incorrectly. Opping is very, very hard.
That's an interesting way to put a graphic on screen. All right. For sure.
Off screen going completely off the bottom of it. Much better. Okay. So the first match that we're going to talk about is part of the Legacy Gold series. It's the Dude versus the Galacronies. A couple teams that not quite at the top of the standings, but they are both very much in the hunt. Galacronies have a bye under their belt, which is kind of explaining why their points are so much lower. But the match here that we have on... Actually, we don't have one of these matches on stream yet, but they were one that we were trying to get on stream. So just kind of across the list here: Snake versus Based Inc., Sanguine versus 2-Star Mako, Icon, You versus Boozosaurus, Shiny Pants versus Sage, Medusa's versus Ghost. We'd love to get any of those matches on stream, so please let me know. But Icon, I'll let you kind of we're going to do quick hits because we're so far behind right now, but what do you think the final score is here of this series?
3-2. Not sure which way. Snake's a really good player. Based Ink is really sick. Sanguine actually just swept Mako, so we take those. Boozosaurus is technically 2-0, but he has a really bad lifetime record versus me. I don't know why. I think I'm his kryptonite. I also think he might just let me win because he's a cutie. Not sure. Sage is a really good player. Shiny's insane. Medusa's versus Ghost going to be very competitive. Maybe Ghost takes the 5. Final score: 3 Sadu, 2 Galacronies. Ghost wins 1. I love you, Starkey, and then they get 1 somewhere else because this is actually a pretty good team for sure. There you go.
Well, I guess I took the screenshot before we knew that Sanguine got the win over 2-Star Mako, but that's I don't think that's an upset by any means there, even though Mako was 2-0.
Nah.
A2, any thoughts on this matchup?
I'm going to say that I have very little idea about how these two teams will work, but I will say things with very definitively so that people will believe me, and I'll say Galacronies will win 15-12. There's no other way it could happen.
50-12?
15.
Oh, 15.
Oh, okay.
15 is a number that's possible, thankfully, not 50.
Yes.
But, Lotus, your thoughts?
I think this one is gonna go to the Galacronies. Their mid pack is really strong. I think Icon will finally lose to Booze and break the curse. Sorry, Icon. And I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, bold choice though with the 4-0 in Dude's favor already, but I appreciate the fact that you you sticking true to your belief, regardless of the evidence in your face. So the Legacy Red.
I think Booze win. Sage and Ghost will also win, but yeah.
Okay, so you think they're gonna take it 3 through 5? All right, I can buy that. Second matchup is Legacy Red. It's Hot Zilfs versus Bai, 2 of the top teams in Red right now. Let's see, we got Coles versus Noglaco, Rabobson versus Agent PWE, myself versus Disco, Anfall versus Snake Fods, and Jim Philos versus Arkham Cookie. I obviously think that we're going to win all 5 because I have supreme confidence in my teammates. But that doesn't make for a good discussion. So, Lotus, what do you think is going to happen in this one?
I think this is a tie than it seems against BYE last time, and it was very tight. I think it's going to be. I actually think BYE is going to win this one, but it's going to be super close,
I'm gonna mute you.
like a 1 or 2 point difference.
I'm just kidding. Unlike some of our modern political climate, I don't silence my opponent's viewpoints because that's not.
I do. I will mute you. I'm fine with that.
Silence.
Silence. Icon, what do you think here?
Hot Sauce wins. Hot Sauce is an insane team. Coles wins the 1 because I like Coles and I don't know Glocko. Rebubson wins the 2 because I'm really hyped on him as a player. Donde loses the 3 because I have to do that. Infall wins the 4 because his opponent's 0-3. That's kind of telling. And then Arkham takes the 5. And so Hot Sauce 3 by 2. Easy clap.
I will say Disco did start the season as a 5 seed, which I think is complete ridiculousness. Definitely at least a 3 seed, if not higher, and that PR will continue to climb. A2, any thoughts here before we move on to the next game?
I would say Posca is a very good captain. I think that as a friend of his, that his team is going to do very well in this matchup. I think PWE and Disco are very good players. I don't know that much about Glocko, so I'll say it goes the other way, and I think Arkham Cookie will beat Jim Flows. So I'm going to go Coles, PWE, Disco, and Fall Arkham Cookie as the winners, making by win 3-2.
Man, I don't like anything you guys have to say tonight.
You chose to put me on here.
I mean, you went ahead and won the duos tourney. It's not my fault.
You could have sabotaged me somehow.
That's true.
That is true.
So we tried to get a match from this on stream, but just none of the times worked out. But there is a match on stream on Saturday night from the Good Luck Albatrosses versus Toxic Reinforcements. That's going to be specifically it's me, Mike V, versus F Srirachi, which should be a fantastic matchup. F Srirachi is calling back to his rookie season where he started and finished very strong. He's 2-0 right now. So I'm also excited about some of these other matchups. Icicles versus you, Lotus Knight. Catman versus Triss to see if Triss can get back on the winning side here. DeSharmo, who is just a beast in all series right now, playing Carlton Banks. It's me, Mike V, of course, versus F. Srirachi, and Chewbacca versus Chubbs Peterson's Hand, the longest name in THL, I believe. I don't see anybody's name being longer than that. So just looking down the list here, Icicles is hot right now. So I know, or Icicles, as we found out it might be pronounced. I'm not even making that up. He was talking about how it was apparently originally supposed to be pronounced that way, and then he realized it was just spelled icicles. So Lotus, I think you're gonna have your hands full here with Icicles. Catman appears poised to get a W. I would say DeSharmo is also positioned to get a win. So I do think GLA will take this. Overall, I think it'll be close. 3-2. No teams running away with this one, but yeah, this should be a good one to watch. Lotus, tell us why your team's gonna sweep.
I think this is going to be a great match. My team is working hard. We have great players. We're all super excited for this match. It has been really interesting to play with the new cards coming out, just because things are changing a bit. So you need to kind of be the fastest one to figure out what's going on there. But I think it will be really interesting. We have a good amount of teamwork, and I think we're hot this week.
All right, A2, what do you think?
I think that me and Isocles must be on the same wavelength because I've always in my mind pronounced it Isocles, even though I know it says Icicles. So that probably means that he's a very good player and that he will sweep Lotus Knight. And I guess that Triss HS, I don't know why he's 0-2. I think he's an amazing player. The Catman 1950 is one of the only players I've beaten by myself in THL. And I felt like in that one match, I don't know if what happened, but I felt like he didn't play very well, and he was playing an outdated list. So, I mean, he has the 3-0 right now, so he's definitely not the worst player. But I don't see how those two people are the same. The person I played that one day and the person who was 3-0 and 550 PR. So I'm gonna give that win to Triss HS, and I'm gonna guess F Srirachi is going to be the third win for Toxic Reinforcements, and it'll be another 3-2, probably in favor of Toxic Reinforcements.
And Icon?
So I think that the match between Lotus Knight and Icy Van Cleef is going to be kind of a tough one.
Okay,
I think that both of them are very, very high level players, and I think that it's going to go 3-2. Maybe 3-2 in favor of Icy Van Cleef because he's on a hot streak right now, actually. Catman versus Triss, there's only one way that I can ever predict this within this reality, and that's Catman winning. DeSharmo versus Carlton Banks. I don't know that name, probably because
you were way too
but
young.
yeah, I was gonna say, don't know, man. DeSharmo, hard to argue with 3-0, bro. I don't know. He's especially in the 3, man. That's crazy. Especially like DeSharmo, you know. I actually picked Mike V to beat Srirachi. I know Srirachi's really good and actually had a really nuts season a couple seasons ago. But I think Mike is actually quite good in the 4. So this is looking very GLA favored. And then I think Chewbacca beats Chubbs Peterson's hand, partly because he has more than twice his PR, and partly because I know Chubbs Peterson's hand has some very strong thoughts on the entitled youth of this generation, and Chewbacca is none other than Zoomer Elite and is gonna show Chubbs Peterson why old people are overrated. So.
Okay.
And all in all, a 4-1 for GLA, because I think they're a really cool team, really good team for sure.
All right, we have the next matchup here is one of our top hero picks. It's Dad Legend versus the Burnators. Two of the top teams in hero facing off this week. Burnators may be 1-2, but with 45 points, they're right near the top, and Dad Legend is at the top with a 3-0 start. Two of the matches are going to be on stream as of right now. Ron Mexico versus the aforementioned Isocles will be our 9 p.m. on Saturday, so that's our 8 p.m., 9 p.m. matchup there. And then Sunday, if you don't want to watch sports ball, you can watch Skittles versus 9 Eyebrows. That's 9 p.m. That's also this same matchup. So we can talk about everybody. Someone likes sports ball. Just looking at the records, everything is pretty even here, right? I mean, Ron Mexico and Icicles 2-1 apiece, both fantastic players. I have had the distinction of losing to Icicles earlier this season myself. And I will say his play is very solid all around. We know Ron Mexico, reigning player of the season, a crossover player. He is. This is probably one of the best stream matches that we'll have all season. So I highly recommend tuning in here. I don't even know how I could possibly call this one. Starlax versus Lil Hearthy. Lil Hearthy with a strong start, 2-1 so far in their THL debut. Hockey Boys has seemed to figure out what's going on here in Hero. Yellow Dart struggling, but always dangerous. And Sage, he's 3-0, which is cool, and he's got an awesome beard. So I think I can see Dad Legend taking at least 3, if not 4 of these here, with the 1 seed, and I'll say maybe the 2 seed probably being the other tricky part. Icon, I'll start with you on this one.
These are really great teams. It's a shame that one of them has to lose. I think Dad Legend takes this, but I think that Ron Mexico takes a win away from them, as well as potentially Shiny Pants in the 3. I know that sounds weird, but I am a Shiny Pants stan, and he and Hockey are actually two of the nicest people in THL, so that's going to be a really wholesome match. Other than that, I do see Dad Legend coming out with this win. So.
Well, Hockey is Canadian, so he has to be nice. It's kind of the default, right?
Yeah. For sure.
Lotus, how do you feel about this matchup?
I think this matchup, I would give it to Dead Legend. I think they have a very strong team. I think they'll continue to grow, and they'll end up winning, but it is going to be tight. I think Icicles versus Ron Mexico is a great match, and I would recommend everyone watching it. I also think Hockey Boys versus Shiny Pants will be a really good match. So I'm not sure, actually. I'll leave this one open, but it's going to be tight either way. It's going to be either a 3-2 or a 2-3.
All right, A2, what do you think?
If there's two players that I see on this list that I have a lot of respect for, it's Ron Mexico and Hockey Boys. Ron Mexico did very well in duo. I think I faced him, I think winners semifinals or winners quarterfinals, and he plays incredibly well. And Hockey Boys, again, I have a lot of respect for. He's played very well in TESPA and even better in Masters Tour, even if he is a little bit memey. And so I think with those two people, those wins will be near definite, but not necessarily not close. I don't have much of an opinion on the rest of the matches. I think just off the top of my head that Lil Hearthy will take it over Starlax, Yellow Dart will take it over Medusas, and Sage will take it over Silver T-Fox Demon, which would give Dead Legend a win, albeit a close one.
All right, and then our final match of the week is Beard Boys versus the Unknown. That's a Pro Series match, and we do have Ron Mexico making his second appearance of the week versus Hockey Boys on stream on Friday night at 8 p.m. So if you'd like to follow that act, go ahead and hit me up because we still do need one more match. But across the board here we have Lawful Dog, who's making his season debut in a sub position against Desharmo. Myanodon versus Brushy T. Lesimos versus Solo J. I'm just abbreviating names for the fun of it right now. Hockey Boys versus Ron Mexico. And Booze versus Catman. In the 5, Beard Boys, I think, will probably be favored here. I have no idea how Lawful Dog is doing in the meta right now, as he has not been playing in THL, and I have not been particularly following his progress on Masters Tour. But Myanodon is banging on all cylinders, so Brushy's going to have his hands full there. I will say right now I am looking at a unknown win in an upset 3-2. As Desharmo takes one, I'll say that Ron Mexico takes his, and Catman gets his at the 5. Oh yeah, I should probably kick it to somebody else for an opinion. So, Lotus, how about you? I was like, why is nobody talking? It's because you guys are great at obeying the traffic lights.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. I think this match, Lawful Dog is replacing Zabe, who's a great player, but who's out of town for Arlington. So I am not completely sure Lawful Dog will be warmed up as Desharmo currently is, but I have to give it to him. I think Myanodon is going to beat Tuna. I think Lesimos versus Solojaz is actually a very good match. I think Catman beats Booze and Ron beats Hockey. So I think I have to give this to the Unknown, actually. But it is going to be super tight.
All right. Icon, what about you?
All right, so I'm actually predicting an unknown win as well. I think that the level of competition that the Beard Boys is facing is going to drastically ramp up with this team. Going through the seeds, Lawful Dog cannot bench press his way into beating a 3-0 Desharmo. Myanodon may have to face them or swim rather than sink versus Brushy Tuna. So I think I would actually give that win to Myanodon. The music might actually stop for Solo Jazz, so Lesimos taking the 3, and then I think the bottom 2 go to Hockey Boys and Boozosaurus. Sorry, I thought up a bunch of puns for that, and then I fumbled it because there was like 3 or 4, and it took me a while to arrange them in my head. I apologize.
So wait, you said that Myanodon, Hockey Boys, and Booze are winning, but you had the Unknown winning overall.
Yeah, sorry, this is why I failed college level math. I think Beard Boys win 3-2. Sorry, that's
right.
crackhead scoring everybody. Welcome to HearthCenter.
This is second hour HearthCenter at this point.
Yeah.
A2, how about you on this match here?
I'm going to eschew the duty of making puns for all of these matchups, and just say that it's, if anything's ever going to be a tie, it might be this matchup. These are two very good teams, and I feel like on a player-by-player basis, these are all very close. So well, in that case, it might actually not be a tie because ties have to happen in very specific circumstances. So it will be a close one, but it won't be a tie. I think it'll be something like a 14-12 win for Beer Boys.
All right. Appreciate the call of a tie. That's a very hard needle to thread.
I think it requires.
Stick with it.
I think it requires something like 2-3-0 or like 2-3-0s and 3-3-2s or something like that.
There's definitely some configurations, but it is very specific. It does happen though.
I think it's happened maybe a few times that I've seen in the archives, but not very often. It's a once in a blue moon scenario, definitely.
Well, with that said, we have one last thing this evening. We got to give away the results here of our Guess the THL Player segment. So, Lotus, take it away. Did we lose Lotus?
Hey, I'm here. Sorry, it
All right.
just cut for a few minutes or a few seconds. Okay, so I'll give the results. I'll give everyone a chance now. You can go live in voice and try to guess who it is. So the first one was pretty good captain, Hall of Fame member, has a glorious beard, always sitting on his patio drinking alcoholic beverages in his off time, doesn't wear pants.
A2.
I'm gonna feel like such a jerk because I'm very not used to knowing people's names and what their personalities are because I'm very new to THL. So I pretty much guess all people that I have known through either duos or just knew beforehand. This one I picked Booza because through his name and through his from what I've talked to him, he seems to like alcohol. I think he has a beard, and he is definitely someone who is higher in the ranks in the THL.
That's definitely not a bad guess,
That's
actually.
a wildly rational choice. Like, it's
That's
not
like-
right, but it's an extremely good.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
You got reasoning.
wait until number 5. That I feel like that one
I am
where it
dying to
falls
hear
apart.
I'm dying to hear your guess for number 5. Did you know the answer, Icon?
Yes, this is Sage.
It is Sage, yeah.
It is Sage.
I could guess because when you were explaining one of the matches, you literally just said he has a nice beard, and I'm like, well, I got that wrong.
Yeah, that was a little foreshadowing for you.
Yes. We actually talked about multiple of the people playing, of the people in the Guess a Player game in the matches today. So, just a nice note. Number 2, this DHLer is a recent addition to the fun, but you have most certainly seen him around, most likely in the Discord, but also somewhere else. This newlywed is not the best Hearthstone player by any means, but I wouldn't put him at the bottom either.
Oh, wait. Oh, I got this wrong.
You did
Never
get
mind.
this wrong.
I tunnel visioned
I got this
hard on the
very
newlywed
wrong.
thing.
I couldn't tell if the bottom portion was supposed to be a double entendre.
Yeah.
It was.
Near
It
the
was.
Oh, boy.
Do you know who it is? Chad, anyone knows who it is?
No. I thought it was our hat, but then I realized that he's been around for longer than I've been alive. That's not how that
He is
works.
a newlywed though, so that is correct.
Yeah, that's what I thought
Oh,
it
he's
was. dude.
newlywed.
Yeah, a couple months ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
the one I'm thinking is also a couple months ago.
my memory span is about 15 minutes, so that's not newlywed to me.
Who is it? Lotus, help.
It is Turd Herder.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay.
The somewhere else you might
yeah.
have seen him as he hosts. I forget which MOBA it is. Is it Hero of the?
It's
Hero of the Storm?
I mean, it's the
It's
dead
Hots.
game, but yeah,
it's Tots. Okay.
he's very good at what he does. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
he's
for
got
sure.
good stage presence for sure.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. My Discord keeps dropping a little bit.
That's all right. You're still
That's
there
fine.
on stream.
Yeah.
I feel like I should tell you what my wrong answer was, but I feel like I can't really justify it.
I want to know your wrong answer.
Quirky turtle, I think.
Yes.
I know. First of all, I realize I'm pretty sure that's a woman, so it couldn't be.
You are
he.
correct. So
Yeah.
seeing him around
She's
is
a
already
woman
disqualifying.
and has been married for a while and has kids.
I know
Hey.
that they're married, and that's my
Yeah.
only justification.
My favorite
Not
part
bad.
is the person in chat who said turd is the person she's married to.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh man,
Number three, baby.
Number 3, I'm very surprised you guys didn't get this one, but I was born in Israel but moved to the US at the tender age of 3. Since then, I have traveled to every continent except Antarctica. Hobbies outside of Hearthstone include amateur filmmaking, intramural kickball, and of course, Hearthstone. I'm known for my incredible Hearthstone ability, my top-notch shoutcasting, and modesty. Some say I'm the face of THL, and to those people I say thank you, and your check is in the mail. Also, one time I swept Bloody Face, so that's pretty cool. Heart
God.
emoji, love, and on.
I threw this.
Oh,
You
I
threw
think
this
I did
threw this
really
too.
so
hard.
hard. This is so easy if I think about it. Oh my god.
Yeah, you threw
This
it
is our
so
hat,
hard.
dude. Dude, this
No,
is
it's
our
not.
hat.
It's not
It's
our
not
hat.
half.
Wait, what? Oh, okay.
You
Never
still
mind, I give
threw it
up.
super hard, but
Bro.
yeah.
His game
I
is
thought it
harder
was
than you guys think.
Yes.
I remember Diamond definitely making a similar claim to that he 3-0'd someone who was really good. It might have been in
It-
ladder, so it doesn't make
It
as
wasn't
much sense.
diamond, I'll tell you that much. It was damn.
It's an interesting guess, but it is not Diamond.
And I'm pretty sure Diamond was a captain, so I thought he would have more.
Who? I know somebody from Israel, I swear.
No, Avi is ethnically Jewish, but I don't think he's from Israel.
That's why I thought it was Hat, bro. I thought because I know he's Jewish as well. Oh, okay. Who is it? Let us.
So you're going to hate yourself for this one, I
I
think. But the
know.
answer was Myanodon.
Bro.
See,
Oh
I
why
didn't
couldn't
even know
why
these
couldn't these
teams
questions
better.
be this week? I would have been in the lead.
Wait, I know that was Myanodon because he told me in one of the times we had to schedule our matches that his kickball league was going. Oh no.
Yeah.
Kickball.
Dude.
Plus,
I
he's
love
always
kickball,
around.
man. No one's playing kickball.
That's true. Oh my god.
I'm sure
okay.
he's out on the streets of Philly, playing kickball. Maybe that's where he is right now. Who knows?
City of brotherly love.
So number 4.
Okay. Can't believe that.
Number 4, I've hit Legend 2 times, once with my Murloc Shaman and once with Galakron Rogue. But my favorite class to play is Druid. My favorite THL player is Itachi, so I just team up with him in every series in hopes that he will one day carry me to a championship.
I would not have gotten this one, by the way.
I thought this
I-
was Super Murloc, but
I
could be
guessed
wrong.
this. I thought I just picked whoever was his Tachi's teammate in duos, which was Ratier 2000.
It is Super Murloc. That was
Oh yeah,
correct.
alright. Okay, for sure.
Yeah, this was a nod to our legacy team and many others last season.
Oh yeah, and the one I was laughing at the Super Murloc one because he says that his favorite player is Itachi, right? In THL.
Yeah.
His wife literally plays in THL, bro.
Yes.
That's the funny part to me.
I'm surprised they don't end up on teams together that much. Like I would imagine if.
Oh no, I have them on a team, and they
I know.
fight
Yeah.
constantly. It's really funny. Not in like
They
an
also
actual
play
way, but in
together
like a
in duos.
joking way. It's actually great.
After last season, which she posted the video during the match where they were playing each other that week, like the hype video. That was one of the top moments of the entire season. So yeah, as
Yes.
somebody who is married to a person who is A, very competitive, and B, hates to see me win in anything, I completely get that whole relationship. Like the vibe is almost exactly the same as me and my wife, minus her having any video game skill.
Yeah. I totally get what it's like.
To clarify, I mean that Quirky has skill and my wife doesn't. I just don't want to get in hot water with Quirky, so I figured I'd at least clarify that before we go any further.
That would be a very big burn to imply that your wife has better Hearthstone skill than someone who actually plays Hearthstone.
Oh, my wife plays Hearthstone.
Oh, she does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not in THL.
Okay.
You should recruit her.
No.
Good 5 seed.
No. What's the record for lowest true PR? Because it would be her.
Still welcome.
Still welcome. Number 5.
Content. We have a role for that, Dundee. It's called content.
Let's move on before I get divorced. She's not here right now, but yeah, if she somehow stumbles across this.
Yeah, I love you, Mrs. Dundee.
I held the record for longest winning streak in THL for exactly 1 week, and I got on Twitter.
Oh, this is Freelo. This is absolute Freelo because he's like one of my closest friends in THL.
I'm pretty sure I guessed
So
someone
ready.
who isn't even in THL.
Who is your guess? Yeah, who is your
Please
guess?
tell me you
bro?
guessed Fast 44. Please tell me.
Oh my god.
No, I guessed Insom.
Oh, interesting. Okay, hey, fair
Because
enough. That's fair enough.
I've seen it on Twitter, and everything he says is incredibly standoffish.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if he hasn't been banned on Twitter by at least once. He's definitely been blocked by like 20 people, and he brags
He's
about
blocked
it.
by half of THL. Yeah, that's fair actually. That's a good guess for sure.
I don't think he even plays THL though.
He does
No,
not.
he never has.
No.
But hey, I mean, shooting for some.
It's complete shots in the dark, but
Nah, that's all good. That's
Hey,
a
that's
decent
fine.
guess
it's the
for sure.
best I could do.
They had a good logic. These
No,
are not easy either.
I appreciate that no matter what, like, you definitely didn't know really many people in THL, but you put actual thought into every single one of the questions, which I completely
Yes.
appreciate.
Yes.
At least the minimum amount of thought. I feel like number 2 does not give me that benefit of the doubt, though.
I think that was the hardest question out of the
because
Yeah.
I would
five.
have to know about their
Yes.
personal life, which I obviously would not know.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'm very surprised that Icon did not get my Anadon.
Yeah, I know.
By the way, we should mention
love
that the
mine.
answer to number 5 is Robobson, if anybody didn't. And I know Icon got that one, but yeah.
Robobs.
Yeah, he's hung around in FTL like since before we were even a pro team, and there's been multiple periods like in our Discord where we've changed his nickname to Rebandson in our Discord, and we've posted Twitter memes and been like, hey Rebob, since you can't see these, we're gonna like repost these here for you and stuff. And so he's a big meme around. I feel that he's been banned off Twitter for a long time.
If he ever gets swept, you can feel free to rename him 0-3 Bobson.
Yeah,
you're welcome. That one's on the house.
He's had a lot of he's had some weird nicknames in our server. He used to be Boomerman because Snake Ox and I would make fun of him for being old. And then,
He's not older than me either.
I think right now he's named Rehabson. I don't know. We're coming up with different names as it goes along. But yeah, no, he is good. Twitter banned, and he's been banned multiple times. So yeah.
I think on my he's on my legacy team. He's definitely the youngest of the 5 of us.
Yeah, at age 28.
Yeah,
okay.
And he's the only one without a kid.
That's true.
Yeah,
I mean, Jim has grandkids, so there's that.
That's insane. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird thinking about the Abe differential. Just like I know, like the low bound and the upper bound are so far apart, right? Because the lower bound is at least 18, or somewhat lower. Because I know.
Oh no, Triss is like 14.
Triss is 14. I think Finico Dare when he was in THL he's 13 or 14 as well.
Catman could be 14 or 40. We don't know because he's told us like 30 different ages.
MTG Kid, who is in the duo, is like.
Yeah, Quinn's insane. MTG 13. Kid.
Yeah, I would say I think he was 11 when he was on that at DreamHack, right?
He played at DreamHack like under like parental permission or whatever.
Right. Well, his dad was there playing too, I think, right?
Yeah, I think he played with his brother in duo too. Juggler is his brother, I think.
Oh, that's super cool.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah,
and
I feel.
Me and Avi were like, "Oh, it's gonna be cool to play them," and then they lost.
I definitely feel like I'm on the older side at 34 here, but that's okay.
I mean, I feel like I'm on the older side at 29, but that's fine.
I feel like I'm on the older side, but that's just because I don't take care of my body.
Oh, well, that goes for all of us. I actually have something for you guys here. I'm going to hold it up to the camera and hopefully you can see. But I found my old college ID with 18-year-old Donde. So
okay. I'm interested in this.
So should I pull out my ID and compare and contrast? Hold on.
Let me grab my wallet.
Ooh, this is me without a beard.
Oh my god, so Donde.
That's baby me.
Hold on, there's me.
That is you. Wow, yeah, you look much younger without a beard.
I think I look the exact same. There's not too much crazy going on.
Oh, now I've doxed myself, so.
Hold that out. Yep.
It's fine. No, it's gonna take my
it's literally the same thing. So.
I'm currently stealing all of Icon's like funds that he holds on his college bank account or his college. Like we kept like funds on our card.
Butler's in Eastern Division now, isn't it?
Yeah, I actually don't go there anymore. I'm transferring to Sweden for university, but I mean, it's the most recent college ID I had, so hey.
Well, this would have probably been the only time we would have played in TESPA because they've changed it from 4 divisions to 2.
Yeah, I was
And-
actually, if I had stayed around, I did test with the first year. We actually did pretty well. I was going to play you, but I had competed in Rainbow Six instead for
What
my
is
college, so.
Sweden in
Oh.
THLST?
In THL-ST? What do you
THL
mean?
standard time.
Oh, I don't know
It's like
yet.
+3.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
+2 is my guess, but yeah.
Yeah, I only know how to convert to Eastern at this point, so I'll figure that out when I get there.
The
Do
one-
you
the
know?
one
Do
true
you know
time zone.
Swedish?
Nope, don't speak a word of it. I lived in Stockholm for like a year and a half, and like it was fine. So I don't know. I'm probably just gonna go back,
Oh, okay.
take uni there. Whatever works, it works. Yeah, it's all good.
Mhm.
Well, that's everything we got tonight. Sorry, Avi couldn't make it. He just didn't quite make it in time. So, rip his HearthCenter debut, unfortunately. But A2, thank you for joining us. It was great to have you tonight. Congratulations again on duos, and hopefully you continue to have good luck throughout the rest of the Pro Series. Icon and Lotus,
Yeah,
thank you guys
thank
as
you.
well for being here. Yeah, it was good to have you
Thank
guys.
you.
So we will be back next week, of course, Wednesday at 9 p.m. with another stream. We'll talk about Pro again, and please do feel free to tune in to the matches coming up. Tavern Talk is tomorrow night, and then we've got our Friday, Saturday, and hopefully Sunday streams as well, starting at 8 p.m. each time Eastern. Again, one more Friday spot, so if you need, or actually Friday and Sunday spot, so if you would like to get on stream, please let me know. That's it for us. Have a great night. Best of luck the rest of the week, and we will see you on Wednesday.
Bye.